This week on Fish Ed, I'm up at Lake of the Woods. It's early ice and it's one of my favorite times of the year to be up here because the fish are usually snapping and there's not any pressure on them yet. You're gonna wanna see this one because this is something you're gonna wanna do. I'm gonna get in the house and get after it. That is an example of working a fish a long time. I'll tell you, he's been down there, and what I had to do was just continually keep changing cadences. That's a great sauger to start my day. Oh, we're up on Lake of the Woods, and it's early ice, and sometimes when you get out here for the first time of the year, I mean, you look around, you don't see a bunch of houses. I mean, nobody's out here yet. It's pretty early. It's safe. We're on 4.5 inches of ice now, 5 inches. But I'll tell you what, you got to go through a lot of different things sometimes to get them to bite. And what I'm fishing today is rattling flyer spoon. Now, I started off with that color right there, and I'll tell you part of the reason I did this is the water's pretty clear, but at the same time, too, the fish haven't seen a lot of lures here for the last couple weeks, okay? Actually, last month, probably. So a lot of times, if you put something down there real aggressive and real bright, you can really get them turned on quick. Now, if that doesn't work, I'm going to go back to my natural colors because, like I say, it froze pretty clear this year. And what I mean by that is a lot of years you'll get the window blow and all of a sudden you'll have kind of a dingy looking water, but Lake of the Woods looks like it's going to be really clear this year, and that's a good thing because it's going to keep the bite good, especially if by chance we do get a bunch of snowpack. You know, all said and done, this is probably my favorite spoon to fish for a couple reasons though. One, it's got rattles, okay? So I can bring fish in from a long ways away. But because of those wings, every time I lift it and then drop it, it kind of flutters out to the side. But the key to fishing this lure is to understand that you want to constantly be changing. Sometimes I'll just jiggle it, sometimes I'll lift it, sometimes I'll just bang it down on the bottom. And that fish, he looked at it so long that I had to go through a lot of different things to get him to bite. We're gonna get back down there. Usually where there's one, there's more. Oh yeah, well you can tell this one, I could see him coming, and you could tell by that red line he was a lot better fish than he is. But I'll tell you, one of the keys is picking spots on early ice. It's not always about, ooh yeah, look at that eye, look at that. Oh, that is just fun. You know, I switched colors too, you're gonna notice that. I switched something that glows a little bit more. I just thought maybe with this snow cover and the overcast, it might make a difference. And boy, this guy just came railing in and smacked it. That is a perfect 19-inch walleye right there. Here's what's really cool though. When you get out here on first ice, you don't necessarily have to go a long ways. I'm not that far out today. Now, I've started out in 24 feet, and here's why I started out here this far. I would have started in a little bit shallower, but I didn't get on the ice today until about 8 o'clock, and I'll tell you exactly why I waited that long. It's my first time out here on Lake of the Woods this year. And I know there's a pressure ridge in here, and I wanted to make sure I was going over it in the daylight so I could get out and look at it. But look at that walleye. What a great fish. Boy, that's just a ton of fun. You got to get out here and do this. But when you do, know this, you don't have to go that far. I'm out in 24 feet, like I said, and that's only about 1.5 miles from the shoreline. And all I'm looking for is any little bends in that contour line. It doesn't take much because these fish will run back and forth this way once they get to where they're going for the day. But earlier this morning, they were probably up there in that 16, 17 feet, and they'll just move back and forth. They'll even be shallower, you know, when we get toward really low light this evening. But, you know, keep that in mind. You don't have to go far. Don't feel like you got to race all the way across the lake. There's great fishing all around the shorelines, and it's because those fish are still there from when they were in there chasing those spawning minnows this fall. They haven't left yet. There's not been enough activity in here. There's not a bunch of cars on the ice yet. There's not a bunch of things to drive them out of here, and the bait hasn't moved. So start on those shoreline structures and you'll do just fine. Here he comes, he's hot. Got him that time. That's a good sauger. Yeah, he's at 12. We'll let him go and grow up. You know, sometimes you make a change like I did, and there's a reason you do this. I went to a darter, and I'll tell you why I went to this Lindy darter. I was on a little streak there of catching a lot of little fish, and this is what I'm after right there. And you can see what he did. And all of a sudden, you just see a fish come railing up and look at a bait like that. And you know what? It's not going to be one of those little saugers. It's going to be a guy like that one right there. Man, it's been a great morning out here on Lake of the Woods. And fish like this, they're just waiting for you. If you can find some time, get up here. Now, we came out of Zipple Bay this morning, and the ice conditions are good here, and it should be pretty good and ready to go all the way across the South Shore now, but make a call ahead. And then for more current and up-to-date information all winter long, check back with us each week on Fish Ed, and we'll chase across the Midwest finding you great bites just like this one.